you may be sabotaging your Instagram success and you don't even know it. There are a few things that you guys should know before going on Instagram and posting something else. Because if you're not knowing those things, you're impacting your growth badly. And I don't want you to have that. And I've been posting on Instagram for years now, maybe 4 or 5 years. And I've always had that mentality of trying to grow my Instagram account because I wanted ultimately to bring all that traffic, all those eyeballs onto my businesses. And when I started, I created meme pages, like theme pages, where basically pages that we post content that's already working and don't really have a face. And my goal was to grow that page until it's big enough so I can promote my personal account. That was the goal. But I didn't know a few things that prevented me to grow that page, and ultimately I gave up and changed ways, changed businesses, changed the way I wanted to do things. But that's, if only I knew the things I was going to share with you right now, I would have been able to take advantage of that opportunity. And I want you guys to take advantage of that. So I'm going to share those things with you right now. Hey, number one thing that you gotta know is you have to stop being a consumer and start being a producer. Because hey, let's face it, even if you're only posting on Instagram for your business, oftentimes you go check the feed for 15 minutes, then you snack back to reality and you're like, oh shoot, I just wasted 30 minutes of my time, 2 hours, 3 hours, looking at things that are not going to improve my life. So make sure that whenever you go on Instagram, it's solely for business purposes. You become a producer of Instagram and not a consumer. The only time you will consume is targeted to a specific kind of content that you will be able to use as data for your customers. Remember this. Number two thing that you need to know is you got to make research on what's working. The best way to win the battle is to first plan it ahead and make sure that everything that can happen actually gets handled and talked about before the battle so you can win it. The idea is that you guys should do your research before trying to post, because you can post a lot of things and trying to wing it, and maybe 1 in a billion chances you will find the thing that's working at the moment. But the thing is, there are things that are already working and that you can leverage right now. Because let's face it, social media is something that is really volatile. We will have things working for a few moments, for a few weeks, sometimes maybe days, and after that, it's not working anymore. So you really have to see what is working. And one of the best ways to do that is not by being a pioneer, because, hey, you spend all your energy and time actually discovering what's working. The best way to do is to follow those pioneers, the guys that are in your industry, that are trying different contents, different things, and you analyze, and I'm going to share with you a step-by-step process further along in this episode of Marketing Commandos on how you can do that to leverage and get more customers, more followers, to ultimately get more customers. But the thing is, you always have to make your research and see what those guys are doing, because they are the guys, the pioneers, and you simply have to model what they're working and what is doing, so you can make sure that you get your piece of the cake as well. And last thing I want to make sure that you guys know is you gotta focus on quantity before quality. And that's something I will never stress enough about. The fact that you guys want to publish the viral video to make the piece of content that is going to change your life. And some people do things like that. But you know how they can actually achieve that results is because they already have data on what is working. Whenever you got the data and you know exactly, and that's a really advanced stage. So that's why I don't say that a lot. Maybe I'm doing a mistake saying it, but when you know exactly what is working, and I'm talking exactly, like you make a video, you know exactly for sure how many views it's going to do. When you're that advanced, then focusing on making a video work, because you know exactly the parameters that are going to make it work, is a smart idea. But that's a really advanced stage that not a lot of people reach. If you do, great, but 99% of your career is going to be spent on really analyzing and understanding those platforms and the changes that they will come. Because let's take YouTube for an example, because YouTube is one of the platforms I know the best. YouTube, you check out viral videos of like 9 years ago. If you do the same kind of videos nowadays, it won't work as well. So you got to make sure that you see what's current and what's working at the moment. But the only way you can do that is by doing quantity to get data. And when you get that data, you can adjust the kind of content that you will do. And ultimately, if you know really what it is, you put all your money into it. But that's really an advanced stage.